Okay, thanks everybody. We are holding, today is Thursday, and which brings us to the fifth reading in a portion of Pikudei, which is on chapter 40, verse number 1. We come closer to the end of Parshas Pikudei, and the end of the book of Shemos. Vayidaba Hashem al Moshe Leimer, and God spoke to Moses, saying, "By Chayim HaChodesh Harishon, on the third day of the first month, Be'echel HaChodesh, on the first of the day." That means there's Chodesh Nisan. Takim es HaMishkan, you shall set up the tent. Oyel Moed, the tent of meeting. That means even though the Mishkan I mentioned was finished on the 25th day of Kislev, God told Moshe Rabbeinu they shouldn't erect it, they shouldn't put it together and to use until the first day of Nisan. You shall put there an arin. You shall place there an ark and testimony. You shall spread the dividing curtain towards the ark. So now she says, is an expression denoting a protection. For this dividing curtain was a partition, not a covering. It was a partition between the Holy of Holies and the Holy. And then you should bring in the table. And shall bring in set its arrangements of the 12 breads. And you should bring in the menorah and kindle its lamp. Rashi says its arrangements, these are the two stacks of loaves of showbread, lechem aponim, 6 on the right and 6 on the left. Starters mizbech hazav, and then place the golden altar, the altar of incense before the ark. In front of the Holy of Holies, with the ark is, and then place the screen to the entrance of the Mishkan. So the way it was set up, there was like a segel, the shulchan to the right, the menorah to the left. The shulchan was on the north side, the menorah was on the left, on the south side, and the mizbeach was the mizbeach hazav. The golden altar was right in the middle, and it was facing actually the Holy of Holies, facing straight the aron. As we know that the aron, the badim, the poles of the aron were in the aron. And therefore, the bottom actually stuck out of the pareiches. So it stuck out. You saw the two bars of the aron sticking out. So you knew exactly where the aron was. Then you have to put the burnt off, the oila, the mizbeach of the sacrifices in front of the Beis Hamikdash, the door of the Beis Hamikdash. This is a whole machlekes in the Gemara, exactly the location of the Mizbeach. But over here the Torah says, L'fnei Pesach Mishkan Elam, in front of the entrance. So exactly, you have to learn the Gemara, the arguments in the Gemara. And then you put the wash, the kir, in between the oil moed, in between the building and the Mizbeach. And the Sata Shamayim, you'll put in it water. And then you shall set up the courtyard around it. And you shall place the screen for the gate of the courtyard. And then you'll take the anointing out. You have to take the oil and anoint the entire Mishkan. It's kol hashaboy, everything that's in it. And you're going to sanctify it. It's kol kelev and all its vessels. V'hayu kodesh. And it'll be holy. And then you'll anoint the altar. Let's call Caleb and all its vessels. You'll sanctify this altar. And the altar will be holy of holies. And we have learned a little bit already why Rashi explained to us what's the meaning of the Mizbeach is holy of holies, which sacrifices, once you bring it up, you're not allowed to take it down, etc. Once it touches the Mizbeach, once it's brought up on the Mizbeach, on the altar, it cannot be brought down. and then you shall anoint the washstand and his base and sanctify it. Then you'll bring Aaron and his sons near the tent of meeting. You'll bring them in. And they shall bathe in water. They shall go into a mikveh. In his big kodesh, and you're going to clothe Aaron the holy garments. You'll anoint him. You'll sanctify him. And they will become a kohen. They'll become a serv. They'll serve me. As Banav Takir, so shall you do that to his sons. And you'll bring them near, and you clothe them in their tunics. And just like you anointed the Beis Hamikdash, you need to anoint Aaron and his sons. As you sanctify the father, you need to sanctify the sons. And they're going to become all Kehanim to me. Now the Kohen, these because now the Eibush established the concept of Kohuna. Before the whole story of the golden calf, the Kehanim was supposed to be the firstborns. But now God moved it to Aaron and his sons. And until today, you're a Kohen if you come out of Aaron. So the Kohuna comes out of a family, a regular situation, you come out of a tribe. The Kehanim are from the tribe of Levi. But you're a Kohen if you come from the family of Aaron. Yes, Moshe Rabbeinu did. Whatever God commanded him, Cain Asa. It's exactly what he did. That completes the Chumash for today. Going on to the Tanya of the day. And we are holding in chapter 34 of Tanya, I believe. We are holding in chapter 34 of Tanya. And the Alter Rebbe is explaining us the concept that each and every one of us could have the concept we should we should be so joyful and happy that we have a chelik in the Eibishter. We have a chelik in part of God because God is right here. And the Eibishter wants to have unity. And it's up to us to create this unity. So it's known. So that therefore the story, that's why the stories of the Torah, the Gemara says that the stories of God likes the stories of the Torah even more than the laws of the Torah. He gives us so much space to the story of the patriarchs and the matriarchs. Why? Because the Torah wants to show us that we all should be like the patriarchs and the matriarchs, the best of our ability. Because the patriarchs and the matriarchs were dust as people like us. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah were human beings that are like us. They had all the challenges, if you learn the Torah, they had all the challenges of life, of financial life, and anti-Semitism, and hatred, and family problems. They had exactly the struggles we had. The beauty of the patriarchs were that they were committed to God. With all the situations they had, they never lost their purpose in creation and why God brought them to the world. That's why the Zohar expresses that if you want to give an analogy of the patriarchs and the matriarchs, you call them the Merkava. You call them the chariot of God. What's the chariot of God? Chariot of God is like a chariot, like a car. The chariot does what the rider wants it to do. Patriarchs did what the Eibishter wanted, God wanted them to do. Shekol yameim la'olam. Throughout their lives, le'hifsiku afilu sho'achas. They did not stop, even a momentarily. Whatever they went through in life was all connected to the journey and the connection to God. The bitul aniskelel, which is through the absolute surrender, liyachudei yizbarech, to the oneness of God. That's the meaning. The patriarchs understood what the meaning of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. They understood the concept of God is one with the world. And everything they did was all in connection to the service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And ultimately, through all the prophets and the Kolecha, each and every one of them according to their level, to the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, which Moshe Rabbeinu is the greatest prophet. Like come now, become Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu was a mamish, a person who was totally given over to God. Whatever the Eibishter said, he did. There was not any doubts in his mind because he understood that his purpose in life was to connect God to the world and finish. And therefore, he did not struggle with it. He had a lot of struggles, Moshe Rabbeinu, but not in a service to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and not in what God wanted him to accomplish. Shenemar Allah, but on Moshe Rabbeinu, only on Moshe Rabbeinu, it says, Shechina midaberes miterech greinai. The Shechina, the presence of God, spoke through Moshe Rabbeinu's throat. He was like a microphone piece. The microphone says what you say. It doesn't speak anything but what you say. Moshe Rabbeinu was totally nullified to God. He spoke what the Eibishter wanted to say. He didn't put anything of himself into it. He was totally a chariot. That's the same example of thing like a chariot. A chariot does what the rider wants. Moshe Rabbeinu did what the Eibishter wanted. Everything he did what the Eibishter wanted, ultimately. Everything. Right? And that's why, for example, the breaking the luchas, God says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Yashikoyach, thank you. Everything Moshe Rabbeinu did was for God and for the Jewish nation. And the truth is, every single Jew had this merit at the time of Mount Sinai. That means every single Jew, also us, we were at the time, every soul was at the Mount Sinai. Actually, the Jewish people physically could not handle the revelation of God. They couldn't be mevatel themselves. See, a tzaddik can nullify himself. For us, it's very difficult, self-nullification. We can have nullification of ego. Self-nullification can bring us to things that we don't want. And that's what happened at Mount Sinai. What happened was when God revealed himself, the Jewish people actually died. As our sages say, shall call dibur parcha nishmas. And the Eibush said the first commandment, they all died. And he revived them. And then they said the second commandment, they all died. And he revived them. And then the Jewish people said to stop. We want to hear the rest of the commandments from Moshe Rabbeinu. That's why it says, Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah was commanded by Moshe through Moshe Rabbeinu. Torah equals up to 611. So Torah, 611 commandments were given to us through Moshe. And the two commandments, I am God, your God, and you shall not have any other gods. Every Jew heard from the Eibush himself, from God himself. But what happened was, that revelation of God, Pashit, they died. They had Tchias HaMesim twice at Mountain Torah, every Jew that was there, physically there. That is self-nullification. Question is, can we handle self-nullification? So Moshe Rabbeinu, the Eibush just spoke to Moshe upon him. That's how you see how self-nullified he was. And he was still Moshe Rabbeinu. He was a human being like me and you. He had the capability of handling that revelation. Most prophets, all prophets, only had a vision of God when they were sleeping in a dream. Not Moshe Rabbeinu. So it didn't show on Moshe Rabbeinu. It shows, you see, that the greatness of us, it didn't show on Moshe Rabbeinu's greatness. It showed in his anivus, on his humility. Most of us cannot have such humility. that we're basically bittul b'metzias. That's why Chassidus we learned there's two concepts. To nullify your metzias, that's what it's over here. Bittul b'metzias, nullification of self. And we have to really work on bittul hayesh, nullification of ego. That's our avodah, to nullify one's ego. To subdue one's ego. Self-nullification. Not everyone is ready for that. Therefore, the Eibush understood that. And therefore, the first thing he told the Jewish people after the golden calf, after he forgave them, he said to them, Mishkan, to make this Mishkan that we have been learning for the last couple of weeks. In this Mishkan is going to be the Kachik, the Holy of Holies. Lashras Hashchina. That there will be the Holy of Holies, where God will dwell in it. But it's going to be in the Mishkan. It's not only going to be in the Mishkan, it's going to be in the Holy of Holies. And only once a year did the Kohen Gadol go into the Holy of Holies. So it was something that not everybody could see. Surely a regular Jew, forget about a Kohen. I'll explain later. And what's the greatness, understanding why we pray every day for the building of the Beis Hamikdash. We pray every day for the concept of rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash in Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim. We're not looking for another building. We are looking for Ashras Hashchina. We are looking for the presence of God to be in a physical way in the world. Even though it's going to be in a building, it's going to be behind in the building itself. It's going to be in a private area. Nobody's going to go. It doesn't make a difference. We want Ashras Hashchina in this world, not in our minds, not in our belief. We want it. The Mata Basara Tvach. We want it below 4 feet. We want it in this world, and that's what we want. That's what Jews want, and that's what we pray for every single day. The unity that with God with the world, self-understood in the way we can handle it. If God would reveal himself, we would all die. So therefore we pray for the Beis Hamikdash. The Eibush instituted a concept that he would be able to have the presence of God in the world, that we'd be able to handle it. Because it will be in the Mishkan. And it'll be in the Holy of Holies. But we'll know it's there. And we'll be able to feel it. Because there'll be Ashras Hashchina in a physical way. So right now, there's always Ashras. The Eibush is right here. But none of us feel it. Because it's hidden. We want a revelation to the best of our capacity not to lose our identity. That's how we're not trying to lose our identity. We're trying to lose our ego, not our identity. And therefore, Mashiach comes, it'll be the same thing. We're gonna have Gilui, of course, revelation of God, which will bring us all to a greater capability of yichud, of uniting with God and bringing God into the world. And we'll still be human beings. We're not going to turn into angels. We're going to be human beings like we're right now. And we'll just have a greater purpose, and we'll see the purpose and feel the purpose in our lives, because we'll have the presence of God in a much greater way than we have right now. I wish you all a wonderful day. Today is the 30th day of the month. The 30th day, today is the first day of the Chodesh, and we finished the Tehillim today, chapter 145 to chapter 150. If you're going to say those 5 chapters, you would have done the chitas of the day, and you would finish the entire Tehillim as we did it through the entire 30 days of the month. I wish you all a good Chodesh, a wonderful Chodesh, a happy Chodesh, and it should be a Chodesh of Simcha, a day of great joy, a great happiness for all of us. I'm inviting you all at 10 a.m. We're going to have a class on the portion of the week. The Rebbe's Sicha, the Lubavitch Rebbe's teaching on the Parsha of the week at 10 a.m., either at Chabad or on Zoom or on Facebook Torah Direct. Come and learn together. And the main thing is, as we come to Friday, we say Shabbos, we say Chazak, Chazak, V'nis Chazek. May we go from strength to strength. May we have strength, strengthen each other, and never lose our faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And let us hope will merit to the coming of Mashiach b'mheira b'yameinu mamish, speedily in our days. Have a beautiful and wonderful, happy, healthy